Hey everyone, okay, so today we're talking about skin minimalism. Oh, that's a word, isn't it? Skin minimalism, which is the goal of creating a beautiful, flawless canvas, but with your own skin texture showing through. And that's the most important bit, that it doesn't look like there's anything on the face whatsoever. Just a glowing, beautiful canvas. That's the goal. Now, Cult Beauty have kindly sponsored this video, so thank you so much. And Cult Beauty are the most amazing resource, an amazing website that stocks, as the title suggests, cult products. Beauty, hair, tools, makeup, skin, they stock it all. I shop with them probably at least once a week. 90% of the products you see, at least, that I review, I bought from Cult Beauty. And they're just the most incredible resource of amazing products. So a big thank you to Cult Beauty for sponsoring this video. And if you see that discount code, you get 15% off, which is incredible. All the information is down there in the description box, so please check it out. So let's make a start on the skin minimalism look, which is what I'm wearing here. It's healthy, it's glowing, it looks like your skin. No one can see you have anything on whatsoever, and that is the goal. So let's make a start. Okay, so let's make a start. The first thing I'm going to do is we're going to hydrate the skin, because this tutorial is all about skin. I'm going to use Magic Cream by Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm going to dot this on my face, and we're going to just massage it in. And the goal here is for us to make the skin as beautiful, as radiant, and as realistic as possible, so that the skin just looks its most beautiful and its most healthy. So I'm just going to rub this into the skin, and this just leaves a really nice finish to the skin. It's a really nice finish. So I'm going to apply under eye cream as well. So I'm going to be using Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the Magic Eye Rescue. And I'm just going to dot underneath the eyes and then just massage it in. And I'm going to kind of just go in a back and forward motion, just very gently, and then feather it out, because we want the under eye area to be really beautifully hydrated. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use a primer, and I want to add even more radiance to this look. So I'm going to be using Becca, and this is the beautiful backlight priming filter. And I'm going to apply this with my fingers, obviously. And I'm going to apply just a pump of this product, and I'm going to dot it onto the skin and then blend it in. And this is just going to add that extra kind of radiance that's really going to come from underneath the skin. So when we apply our skin perfecting product next, this is just going to add that extra luminosity under the skin and really massage it into the face. Now we're positively glowing. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on covering up any imperfections, but we want our own skin texture to shine through. So I'm going to be using Laura Mercier, which is the tinted moisturizer, and I'm going to be using shade 2N1, which is nude. Now I'm going to apply this to the back of my hand, dot it onto my face, and then I'm going to use a brush to blend it in. You can use your fingers or a sponge, whatever works best for you. So I'm just going to dot it on. And this gives a really beautiful translucent coverage to the skin, so that we're going to get to keep that texture. So I'm going to use Natasha Denona now, and I'm using number 19. And I'm just going to use this to buff the product into the skin. And the goal here is that we have skin that looks incredibly realistic, like nobody would know there's anything on there, but that the texture of our skin is still apparent. And just buff it into the skin. That's all you need to do here. Buff it into the skin, work it into the skin so that it is a part of the skin, so that you don't have this layer. This is really, really important. And then just close your eyes and very lightly go over the eyelid so that everything is even in this area, so you've got a beautifully even canvas. And all this does, I mean, this is such an iconic product because it gives you, no one can tell there's anything on the skin, nothing. But it evens things out in such a way that it really does give the illusion that there is just the most beautiful bare skin. It's just such an iconic product, it really is. And don't forget to just blend up ever so slightly into the hairline so that there's no lines of demarcation, but there rarely is with this kind of product. So the next thing we want to do now that we've created this is we want to just go in really kindly with concealer or camouflage. We want to just very, very subtly camouflage any areas that just require a tiny bit of work. For this, I'm going back to Laura Mercier and I'm using the Secret Camouflage in SC3. And I'm going to be using a Natasha Denona No. 1 brush. And what we want to do is be very, very strategic with how we use this product because we want to appear like I just woke up like this. I'm just delicious all day long. So we've got two sides. I'm actually going to take the slightly deeper side and I'm just going to apply a little bit of the product onto the brush and knock off any excess. And I'm just going to concentrate just very kindly and very gently on the outside corner of the eye because this is an area that can be discolored, and just by treating that area it can make a really big difference to the outside corner of the eye and to the overall flawlessness of a face. But don't use too much product. I'm also going to apply just a touch above the brow because I get a little bit red here, so I'm just going to tap and blend that in with my finger. The next thing I'm going to do is go underneath the eye, but really, really kindly and very subtly as well. So I'm going to combine the two shades. I'm going to take the lightest shade and then a little bit of the deeper shade, and just kind of mix them on the back of my hand. I really like that kind of wide awake look that you can get with skin. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to very lightly apply the product to the inside corner of the eye, right here. And then I'm just going to take my ring finger and I'm just going to very lightly just pat and press this product. And by lightening up just this inside corner, it just makes the face look more awake. Your eyes just look, it's just such a beautiful trick because you're not using any shimmer yet, but you're just giving the illusion that you're just really well rested. And then you can just very subtly just come down ever so slightly, but really make sure that you're patting and pressing because we don't want there to be any lines of demarcation. If you find that you're a little bit red underneath the eyes, then just take the darker side of the concealer and make sure there's very little product on there, and then just very lightly just trace along the lower eyelid. And all this does is it just takes away a little bit more of that redness that you may have underneath the eye. You can also, if you have any little blemishes, you can just dab a little bit on there and then just blend it in. It's just such a great product. And because of the texture of it, it's quite dry. It clings to the skin really well. So I'm really, really happy with that finish. But we're going to do some other small enhancements that to complete this look so that it looks absolutely smashing. So the next thing I'm going to do is apply a small amount of blusher. Now I'm using Shiseido and I'm going to be using this beautiful color in number 2, which is the Minimus Whipped Powder Blush. And I'm going to be taking the number 17 brush by Natasha Denona. And I'm just going to very lightly just dip a small amount onto the brush. Then I'm going to knock it off on the back of my hand. And I'm going to use this in a really pretty way. So there's no right or wrong way of applying blusher. You should apply it however makes you feel happy and best suits your face shape. I'm just going to start right here, and I'm doing this on skin that hasn't been powdered yet. And I'm just going to very lightly buff it in here because I love that effect where it looks like you've just been outside you know, you've gone for a walk in fresh air and you're slightly flushed. I'm going to touch the bridge of my nose with it and the temple area as well, just a little bit, because I love that effect. You know, it's slightly cold outside and I've been out and you just look so healthy and fresh. And then just take your finger and just make sure it's all kind of pressed in and one with the skin. And you can go as light or as heavy as you want with blusher. I love blusher, but each to their own. But I like to apply it in these kind of really kind of marvelous circles up high near the eye or the under eye, because it just to me mimics that fresh look. That is just lovely. So currently speaking, the face is looking delicious, but I want to take down some of the shine because I don't want there to be so much shine on the skin. And if we can strategically eliminate some shine and leave the rest of the face glowing, it looks really pretty when we move our heads. So I'm going to take NARS, which is this beautiful translucent crystal powder. And I'm going to take a small brush from Natasha Denona, which is the number 14. And I'm just going to really lightly, strategically place this powder where I don't want there to be too much shine. So I'm going to start to knock out the shine in the center of the forehead because I don't want this area to be shiny. And this powder is so lightweight and it just takes down the shine in areas that you just don't want to shine. So for me, it's going to be the T-zone, underneath the eye, and down the sides of the nose and into this section here. And then the rest of the skin we're going to leave so that when you're looking directly forward, your face looks quite matte. And then as you turn your head, you get this beautiful kind of shine that happens to the skin. And it's just a really flattering way, I think, of applying powder, because you're just strategically placing it where you want it. And the chin, and don't forget to powder your eyelids and make sure you just smooth over first and then just powder the eyelid. You can leave the brow bone completely bare so that can shine too. But it just adds a little bit more polish, I think, to the look, because you just have this gorgeous glimmer of light to the sides of the face, but face on, it looks beautiful and matte. So the next thing I'm going to do is, my face is actually darker than my neck. Naturally, my neck is lighter. Now there's two ways we could have approached this. I could have applied some of the tinted moisturizer and blended it down, which would have worked fine. But I'm actually just going to use a small amount of bronzer just to warm up the neck area so that it brings the neck and the face so that they look like they belong to the same person. I'm going to be using Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the airbrush bronzer. So I'm going to take Natasha Denona, and this is brush number 20, and I'm going to apply some of this product onto the brush, and then as always I'm just going to knock it off onto the back of my hand because I don't want there to be too much product on here. And I'm very lightly, in circular motions, just going to bring it up to the ear because I just want to very subtly warm up the neck so that it looks like it belongs to the same human. And it's very important that when you're doing this, you don't forget behind the ear and the back of the neck, because you're seen from all angles and we can all kind of forget that that's where we need to do it as well. But just doing this, it just very subtly pulls together the neck and the face. And whatever's left on the brush, I'm just going to knock it off, and then I'm just going to kind of just pat it just along the outside corner of the eye, of the face in this kind of number 3 motion, but I'm actually patting it because I don't want to add too much color. I just want to add a little bit more dimension. So just pat it in this kind of number 3 motion, and whatever's left on the brush, just take it and rub it into the hairline. And that's just lovely. That's just lovely. Next thing we're going to do is just deal with the brows. We want them to be slightly groomed, but not too much. So I'm going to take this great product by Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm just going to comb it through the brows because I don't want them to be groomed. I just want them to look beautifully realistic. And this is a great product because it just very lightly fills in the brow, but without making it look too overdone. And it just picks up the little hairs nicely. And again, same thing on the other side. It's a great product because it gives a really nice, realistic effect to the eyebrow. But it kind of just finishes the look, you know, it completes the look a bit more, it frames the face a little bit more. So we're almost complete, but I just want to add, and we're going to do this very, very subtly. I just want to add a tiny, tiny hint of shimmer right here in the inner corner of the eye. I just think it's going to look really pretty and natural as well, but it's just going to enhance the face just to finish it off. So I'm going to be using Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the Beauty Light wand. And I'm just going to get a little bit of the product onto the applicator. And I'm just going to take that same brush I used for concealer, and I'm just going to take a tiny bit on there, but really quite a small amount. And then I'm just going to very lightly just go around that inner eye area, the tear duct area, just a touch, and then just pat and press it in. It's such a subtle thing, but it's really just going to, in the right light, just make this inner corner just glisten slightly in the light, which is really what we want. Now, to complete this look, we're going to take one final product, which is going to be a lip liner by Charlotte Tilbury, and this is in Foxy Brown. And we're going to just add back in a few freckles and some beauty marks, because I think that really completes the face. So we're just going to take it, just press it into the skin, and we're just going to create a couple of beauty marks, which we're then going to blend in with our finger. But it just adds more realism to the skin, you know, it just looks a little bit more realistic. And then just take the pencil, the lip liner, and just very lightly just tap it onto the nose. Don't have to be too precise with it. And then just blend them in. And it just gives this instant look of youth to the face, because freckles are such a pretty thing. And you're just blending them in, and it's just incredibly, I think, just youthful, just this smattering of freckles, this smattering of youth across the face. And then just take your pressed powder again, and then just very lightly just go over just to set them. Now the final step is to use mascara, but use it like there's nothing on the wand. So I'm going to take off everything that's excess onto the back of my hand. I'm going to be using Benefit, and this is the Bad Girl Bang mascara. And I'm knocking off everything on the back of my hand because I just want your lashes to look like they are naturally just gorgeous and black. So I'm going to apply the faintest amount, and that's it. Just enough to define the lashes, but without looking like you have mascara on. And that completes the look. And I love this look. It's just, to me, it's the most beautiful makeup. It's your skin looking its most fabulous, its most beautiful, its most glorious, but it looks like you. And this is ready to take it wherever you want. You could apply a bright lip, a smoky eye, or leave it like this so that you just look naturally glowing and beautiful. A massive thank you to Cult Beauty for sponsoring this video, and the discount code and everything you see here, all in the description bar below. So please check it out, enjoy shopping, and thank you for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I loved creating it. So thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.